Coming down, this is kind of the fun part. It's like a little roller coaster ride.
6% recycled. My car's here at the 2025 Detroit Auto Show, so let's take a look around. My car got accepted into the modded Detroit section of the Detroit Auto Show, which is a big freaking deal. So I'm gonna head down there, show you some footage going in. Let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, we are going in the catacombs. Actually not, it's just Corbeau Center. I think it's technically called Huntington Place now. Make sure the forward-looking camera's still forward-looking, which it is. Turn that heater off. I kind of expected this to be a long process. And it's in. Getting real early, so not a ton of cars in yet. Chambler is looking good. And that's where the Chambler is, right down there. So let's head down there and escalator.
Just put it in my face.
Yeah, your face is fine. Hope nobody gets motion sick. Here we go, escalate. Through the entrance to the promised land. There's the Chambler. And the display is all set up. They're running constant copyrighted music, so there's the camera even. So I don't know what I'll be able to talk over a minute to voice over a lot of this, but you see, it's Chambler. Basically right in the same spot that it was in. Last year in Autorama, I was basically right there. And now, right here. Oh, we're in the Jeep display. You're gonna have to pardon the loud noise, everybody's talking, but there's a ride which Camera Human's probably gonna go on, and we'll try to go through a bunch of the Jeeps that are here. And I like it, but I don't like it for $71,000. 56 grand for a two-door, and I'm pretty sure it's a Turbo 4. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I like the things, but I wouldn't mind having a new one, but not for that kind of money. And that's the cheap one, actually. Camera Human's going to go on the ride, I'm not, but I wanted to come into the little area and see what the whole display's about. I saw both these Jeeps at the Fest event a couple months ago. There's some videos out on that as well. So here is the Jeep thing. Give you the bird's eye view here in the event itself. Jeep going up the hill. Camera Human is going to be catching some of the video on the Jeep going on the round around, probably some of the other rides too. Everybody we can get her onto, and everybody she wants to go onto. Up she goes.
Anyway, welcome to Camp. My name is Corey, and you are in the Rainbow Highway.
I think it's so cool.
You got my first ride on the break. Try to do some tunes. I can't drive without tunes.
Thank you. It's much higher than it looks. Okay, what'd you think?
That's so much fun.
Cool.
Do it again.
We're in MRH show. Not sure what that means. We'll just find out when we get around to the other side. So do you like these things? So it has a Hurricane engine. $89,000. I know everything's getting expensive, but it's a lot. It's a big truck, but wow. Paid less than that for my house I'm currently in. It's a nice house. We are standing in front of a Durango SRT Hellcat Brass Monkey all-wheel drive. How much do you think it is there, camera human?
110,000.
Well, let's see.
Oh, I was close.
115. It's cool. It ain't that cool. Yeah. Ooh. Neat though. This thing is pretty cool in terms of like this. I like that. I just don't like it that much. It's a Chrysler concept vehicle. I don't know which one it is yet. We will find out when we get around to the sign. Interesting looking. It's called the Halcyon Concept.
Oh, I don't stop that way.
Cool interior. It's been a long time since I've been at the auto show. What do you think?
It's amazing. That's come a long way through the years.
I haven't been here in at least 10 years, and to have a car here is pretty freaking awesome. So I'm going to intermix video from today and from a couple other days that I'm here, because there's no way we're going to see everything with it being the first day open to the public. This Saturday 11th, it's just going to be insane, and any of the rides that she's going to want to go on are going to be just packed. So we'll feed in as much cool stuff as we can find, and if we meet anybody cool or anybody I know, we'll definitely pipe them in. This looks like a Fox Tekka rap battle, wrapped Hellcat, but it actually has a V6 in it from the looks of it. It's Jose's 64 Chevy Impala Lion's Den. Some of the cars right up at the Mod of Detroit booth. The Mod of Detroit is the group that actually got us in to be able to display at Corbeau Hall, which is pretty freaking awesome. This is a very big deal. It's about 150 of us down here in the show. I couldn't have been more happy to be chosen and to get to spend some time with some other really cool car people. Show you a quick overview of some of the cars down here, and let's find some of my friend's stuff. I might have to voice over this, but I'm trying to find this. This should be Triumph by Errors Fiero. So we'll go do a quick walk around. Too cool. Mystic painted crowd pressure. And we are surrounded by crowds, so this thing could strike at any moment. Let's see what General Motors has to offer. It's a pretty cool Buick concept car. Wildcat. It is an EV. Still cool. Pause that if you want to take a look at it. Description. It's Cadillac Project HEB hypercar. It's very cool. Likely electric, but hey, can't win them all. Definitely the chopped up carbon fiber look. Sweet, it's actually V8 with almost 700 horsepower. That's pretty cool. I think there's some interesting styling cues, but it's also kind of nuts. It's a Cadillac concept. This is the Right Drop 400, Chevy's new all-electric EV delivery vehicle. Some aspects of it are interesting and some that are just not my style. This one appears to have been converted into a camping unit, so let's take a quick look at it. had to voice over some of this due to copyright music. So let's check it out.
That's so cool.
Fugly. There is a new VW Micro Boost or whatever the heck they're calling this thing. It's not bad looking, definitely kind of weird. I like the older ones a little better, to be honest with you. It's neat. I wonder how many thousands and thousands of dollars this thing is. How much do you think this thing cost?
100,000.
Well, we'll find out. I'll put it here. Camera humans in our next ride along.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep, nice area view. It's got every single state-of-the-art feature we have to offer. Every single safety package, adaptive cruise control, lane assist. Ready?
Yep. It's so hard to believe that this is an electric vehicle.
Right. Well, it's that electric that's giving it all that instant torque. And then the battery is what's giving it great handling in that it's heavy and on the bottom of the car.
Yeah, it looks like it handles like a bus.
What do you think?
That's amazing. And I really want one of these.
Me too.
Well, how was it?
So much fun.
Going to do some real short features on some of the vehicles in the basement with my Chambler. We did a full walk around and a live stream of every car in the basement, so please go check that out. And here's a little taste of the cool vehicles in the basement with my Chambler. It's a Jag. This Jag was built by one of the Model Detroit guys. It's one of their project cars. So definitely, I'll have links and stuff for their social media stuff so you can see all their cars and builds. This show wouldn't be happening without them. Jag. And they made her a Subaru Ute. She's got some crust. Volvo with the LS here, and that intake is tight that you can't see because the camera walked away. This is a nice Volvo. Nice wagon with an LS, and the intake is crammed against the vans, but it fits. It looks good in there. Nice 66 Chevelle, I think my favorite next to the 70, and I do like that it's on basically lifted on truck tires and Kragers. There's some Kragers for a new guy's garage. I think it's just a Malibu, actually. You can see the SS badges, which is kind of cool. He didn't upfit it or up-badge it. Badges? We don't need this thinking badges. So we've been trying to figure out why the door and the glass is shaking. We've finally figured out it's because that spot right above there is where the Jeep display is, and it's where they're actually driving up and over that you saw the camera human at before. So it's kind of a lull on Monday. Something to do, waiting to have something else happen. We're at the Haggerty display. There's Jurassic Park Jeep, Austin Powers, Bug, Kid from Knight Rider, and a bunch of other stuff around the corner we'll look at too. I'm just at the age that these things were the coolest cars on wheels back then. How close is my face?
That was really close.
Well, scanner's not working. I believe that's the Ferrari from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And it's the family truckster from National Lampoon's Vacation. The Magnum PI car. And it's still my favorite Ferrari. Due to the location, I was unable to get video of the camera human getting into the vehicle, also with copyrighted music again. Kind of had to limit it, but here we go. Let's go for the ride and see how fast this thing is.
This is so cool.
This particular vehicle starts out at around 100, goes up to 120. We're actually at that 120 mark with this particular one right here because of the off-road feature and all that. Definitely jacks up the cost.
Yeah.
Along with the 3X motor and the 170 kilowatt battery pack. 3 different driving modes. The one that we're in right now is Watts to Freedom. Gives me around 1,100 horsepower. All I need you to do is take your head, place against the seat back. When you're ready to go, say good to go.
Good to go.
Awesome. Let's have fun.
That's insane.
That's 1 G of force on your body right there. Regenerative braking on demand is on the steering wheel there, but I can also turn it on rooting through the computer system here.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So let's see how the camera human liked it. Get better footage from her anyway. In car. What'd you think?
I need one.
Uh-huh.
And I went 1G.
Welcome to the fugly section of the car show. Camera human is in love with this thing, so. Yeah, this is just ugly. It's sin. Yeesh. It's pretty scary looking in there. You'll love it. Camera human is now going into the fugly vehicle.
This thing is. Yeah. Yeah.
This vehicle is in the Bentler section. Let's see what Ford has to offer. It's got a pretty big display like Jeep does. There's the Ford GTD. So I gotta move because there's so many people. It's pretty slick. This thing is pretty neat. Hopefully I can actually get there we go. This thing is pretty neat, so definitely get some round-to-round video of it. Some of the F-150 race lightning and probably some other stuff. F-150 Lightning Pikes Peak truck. Don't worry, I'm going to hit the high speed. Looks like it's largely made of carbon fiber. That's an active-ish aero. And it's coming around again. This is the Mustang RTR. And it's an interesting stripe package. Could be prototype stuff. It could just be the way they want it to look. It's still kind of neat, actually. It works well together. Pretty freaking cool. Stroke edition Bronco. It's pretty cool. Harkening back to the Schropp, I guess I should say. Broncos from the 60s. So it's been happening in the 40s. Very cool, though. Pretty neat package. And Bronco's also doing a thrill ride or ride along, whatever you'd like to call it. We're getting a special ride at the Bronco exhibit at the Detroit Auto Show with the Wild Yolo. I'll put her contact information below. She's a pro racer and a social media personality, so we'll learn more about her as we're going. We're at the Bronco Adventure Experience with Yolo, and we're going to go for a cool ride, and she's going to tell us about the car and some of hers. Very cool. So we're going to jump in the car.
And seatbelts are definitely required on this ride. So you guys, we're going to go on a little off-road adventure. This is our Bronco Adventure Experience ride. We get people that come in here all day long. It's usually about an hour-long wait for the line. So when they get in, they're definitely very anxious to go for a fun little experience. So this is the Badlands Bronco. This is like the off-roader's model of choice. So it is equipped with all the features to go just about anywhere you want to go, especially if you want to do a lot of serious rock crawling. This is the model of choice. So it has got all the features, all the bells and whistles. It's got the Sasquatch package. So it's got 35-inch tires, beadlock capable wheels, upgraded Bilstein bypass shocks, a little higher of a lift, just really set up to do a lot of rock crawling. So it's a 2.7 liter. It's a V6 twin turbo EcoBoost. And we're going to get started on this first obstacle by doing a little rock crawling. So I'm going to use my goat mode toggle. As I turn this, take a look at my screen over the steering wheel, because that is where all of the interface for the drive modes are. So we've got 7 different drive modes, and I'm going to put us into rock crawl mode. Now that's going to change us into 4 low. It's going to turn on my cameras, my rear locker, my disconnect, just kind of sets everything up for me. So now that we've got that on, we've got this front facing camera, which is really helpful. Yeah, you can see your GoPro right there. Pretty awesome. Now I've got these kind of predictive lines to kind of guide me where my tires are going to land, where I'm aiming them on the rocks. I'm going to switch it now to the side camera. So that is a split screen of my 2 front tires. So now as we crawl through here, I don't have to stick my head out of the vehicle and drive like this to see that driver tire. And I don't have to guess where that passenger side is hitting. We can crawl through here with ease and just let that suspension really articulate and flex out and be able to see everything from the driver's seat.
Oh, that's very adaptive.
Yeah. Now this back tire will kick up off the ground. We're going to kind of teeter right here. You feel that?
Yep.
So this is where we can hit the stay bar disconnect. Now that's a hydraulic disconnect to the front suspension. This is the first and only vehicle on the market that has that technology. So now for the first time ever, we can disconnect and reconnect our suspension anytime that we need to on the trail. So a really big upgrade from what most people know of as a sway bar disconnect.
Yeah.
With the sway bars, they've been around for a lot of years, and they are nowadays electronic, right?
Yep.
But with the sway bar, you have to be in park on really flat level ground in order to disconnect your suspension. Then you would ride on the trail all day disconnected, and at the end of the day, you'd find like a parking lot somewhere really flat and level. You could reconnect your suspension. So now we have the option of being able to disconnect and reconnect anytime we want to during the trail. So while we're under load, while we're flexed out, while we're rolling in motion, doesn't matter. What I really like about it the most is I can leave that feature on. So say we get onto the trail, we activate it. If I leave that on the rest of the day, anything over 20 miles an hour, it will automatically reconnect for me. Under 20 miles an hour, it will disconnect for me, and it will modulate that back and forth all day long as that's on.
So it'll adapt to your settings and still have its standard
programming. Yeah. So just over or under that 20 miles an hour.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we're going to use that goat mode toggle again. I'm going to go from rock crawl mode into slippery mode. So that's going to change us from 4 low to 4 auto. And that's going to reset all my off-road buttons and give me my normal navigation screen. Now, 4 auto is a really good driving mode for conditions like today, right? When the roads are really slippery and those tires start to slip. It's very much like an all-wheel drive mode. It's going to automatically distribute the power to the different tires as needed. And take a look while we have a second as we're getting over to that side hill. This navigation screen is really quite 3-dimensional. You don't really get a chance to see it on this ride. So I always like to kind of show everyone what that looks like. Now as we hit this side hill, I'm going to turn on this rear locker because this back tire does kick up pretty high off the ground. We don't want to get a real bad wheel spin. So that helps us get up and over easy. Now this side hill is very deceiving. I like to call this the seatbelt check. Yeah. You really feel like you're just going to slide right out of that door without that seatbelt on.
Yeah. Little more bolstering wouldn't be a bad thing.
Right. Now, most people, when they're looking out this windshield, they guess that we're sitting at about a 40 to 45 degree angle. If you look at my pitch and roll display, we are only sitting at 21 degrees. It is really quite deceiving because that number on paper sounds so tiny, right?
Yeah.
You really feel it riding in the cab.
Yeah, it's deceptive.
All right. Now here is our Indiana Jones moment here. This is our teeter-totter bridge. So the goal, it's weighted on our side. So it always resets itself. But to get it to tip over, we've got to get our weight to the very top. So as I get onto this, you'll quickly realize that view diminishes. And I can't see where that edge is. And I don't want to go flying off the other side. So we're going to turn on that camera. So we've got this 360. I can see everything around me. But I'm going to actually monitor from that front camera where that edge is. And I got to go until it completely disappears. Now that's going to activate it. And we're going to come down nice and slow. Once this hits the ground, we can just roll off this with ease, feel that suspension really absorb all those bumps. Ford's done a really good job at really refining what an off-road vehicle feels like. It's not your typical bumpy off-road ride anymore. You can actually daily drive this and really enjoy the experience. Now, Bronco Mountain, this is a 30-foot climb, and this is a 40-degree angle, so it's about double what that side hill is.
Yeah.
We're going to turn on that rear locker. And I'm going to turn on that camera because we are going to be staring at the ceiling on the way up. Now you notice I do not have to punch that gas pedal to get up this. I don't have to rely on momentum. We can literally crawl up this as slow as we want to go.
So between engine gearing and management, it takes care of it for you.
Yeah, it does a really good job. And I'm not in that 4 low. We're still in that 4 auto. So it does a pretty good job at crawling at that nice slow speed. I don't have to rev up the engine or going less than 2,000 RPMs. And right here, this is really the sweet spot because, I mean, how often do you get to sit, kind of hang at this steep of an angle?
Yeah,
really
get the top of Corbeau Hall, too.
Yeah,
From
definitely.
Huntington Place, I should say.
And you kind of get the best view in the whole house from up here. You can literally see everything. Now coming down, this is kind of the fun part. It's like a little roller coaster ride.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how was that?
That's pretty impressive.
Pretty good, right? Yeah, they've done a really good job at really just making a very refined off-road vehicle. It's got 6 pre-wired auxiliary switches that are live, so pre-wired throughout the whole vehicle. So when you need to add aftermarket lights, winches, anything like that, all it is plug and play under the hood. Things like the top, other vehicle manufacturers that make hard tops that come off.
Yep.
This one is nice because it comes off in 7 panels, so it's all modular. So you don't have to require two or more people to take off that back chunk. Yes. It's all individual pieces, so one person can take off the entire thing. You can even take off just the side windows if you want and leave the top on. The doors, they're frameless window, so when you roll the windows down, it becomes a half door. Okay. So you don't need to spend $4 or $5 grand on a set of brand new half doors. It becomes its own. And then when you go to take it off, you notice the mirror stays attached, so we don't have to worry about this big honking door with the mirror. We have now just a half door that we're storing. They come with their own individual cases that you can zip around them to keep them protected. So they've really just kind of thought of everything. It's a full titanium roll cage all the way around. So this is rated as a roll cage. You don't need to put in an aftermarket one. And you notice that it's got no grab handles up here, and that's because this is an airbag system all the way around. So they've safely relocated them down low. So now they're below the yeah.
Okay. And all this stuff is available in a 2-door and a 4-door, correct?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, they've really thought of everything. They've done a good job to just kind of check off all the boxes they wanted to when they built these Broncos.
If anybody would like to know more about you, what's the best place for them to find information on you?
Yeah, I am probably on Instagram the most. You guys can find me at the Wild Yolo. I think that's a pretty easy one to remember. If it's on Facebook, it's I have the Wild Yolo page. I have my personal page, Yolita Freeman, and yeah, I think you can find my YouTube as well, and that's under the Wild Yolo. I also have a page called Hustle and Roam, so kind of a little bit of everywhere. I do a lot of traveling, do a lot of off-roading, off-road racing, so very much in the automotive world.
Well, good luck at King of the Hammers. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, absolutely. I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, thank you. The big question is the classic styling of the Bronco, or, so this is the new interpretation. Which one do you like better? Let me know in the comments. This is the Modern Detroit booth upstairs. Modern Detroit is the reason we were able to be at the show today, which is very cool, this week, which is very cool. And with that, the show's over. I'm going to jump in the Chambler and head on home. Awesome video. Sorry. Let me know what you think the show like, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me for the 2025 Detroit Auto Show. Modern Detroit.